Good morning. Hey, do you have money in an IRA account or a Roth IRA account? Or maybe you're part of an employer-sponsored program like a 401k or a 401a. If you're a Peace Health employee, you want to stop and listen to this. If you work with Western Washington University or Watkin Community College or are part of the Department of Retirement Services, the PERS program, the TERS program within our geographic area, you want to stop for a minute and take a listen. If you're part of law enforcement and the firefighters union and their retirement system, then you want to take just a moment and listen to today's talk about the newly implemented Secure Act. My name is Matthew Atkins. I'm the Senior Financial Advisor with Clearbrook Investment Management and also a National Social Security Advisor certificate holder. Now, the Secure Act of 2019 went into effect at the end of the year, so December 31st, 2019. It stands for Setting Every Community Up for Enhanced Retirement, or Retirement Enhancement. Setting Every Community Up for Retirement Enhancement, the Secure Act. It's made a number of changes to those accounts, and yes, it impacts your 401k or your 401a just as much as your IRA, and yes, it impacts your Roth IRA as well. So we're just going to touch on a couple of key changes that took place within the Secure Act and how they affect us today. One of the big ones has to do with what's called required minimum distributions. If you don't know it, the federal government requires you to begin pulling out of your retirement accounts once you hit the age of 70 and a half. That's the old rule. So if you turn 70 and a half prior to December 31st, 2019, you're still affected by that rule. After 2019, the new rule in the Secure Act is it's once you hit 72. So they've added a year and a half onto that time frame. So you don't have to start pulling from your retirement accounts until age 72 if you didn't turn 70 and a half prior to the end of 2019. Now that's a wonderful change that's taken place. Another thing that changed in the new Secure Act has to do with contributions to your retirement accounts. So not only does it affect how you pull from your retirement accounts, but it also affects how you pay into your retirement accounts. So in the past, once you started those required minimum distributions, you could no longer contribute to your IRAs. Now you can contribute to your IRA as long as you want. You just have to have earned income. Now, you can continue to contribute to your IRA as long as you want, but if you hit age 72 after December 31st, 2019, you're still going to have to start requiring distributions. So you're going to be putting money in, but you're also going to be having to pull money out of those IRA accounts. The other huge thing that impacted IRA accounts has to do with what's called the stretch IRA. I'm not going to go into great detail today, but it used to be that you could pass on your IRA to a non-spouse, and if they didn't need it, they could pass it on to their heirs and defer those taxes and continue to grow those funds. That's now changed. And for non-spousal heirs, they now have only 10 years to pull out of those retirement accounts. Now that could be a big deal if you have a nice nest egg saved up in your 401k or in your IRA account. Those heirs, non-spousal heirs, will have to pull that money out over the course of 10 years, and of course that's taxable to them. So it can create a pretty significant tax liability to non-spousal heirs. One other thing about the tax implications and what we might call a tax trap within those kinds of IRA accounts. We are seeing historically low taxes, income taxes. Now, I know it doesn't feel that way when you're paying the taxes, but the truth is we have not seen income taxes this low since World War I. We also have trillions of dollars in national debt. So at some point in time, those record low taxes are going to come up against the record high debt, and we're going to have to do something about it. So now might be a great time to consider a Roth conversion. I'm going to talk more about that in the coming weeks. Before I sign off today, I just want to mention one thing. If you live in the Bellingham area, don't forget the upcoming Social Security Answers workshop happening March the 3rd or March the 12th. Same content, be held at the Jalapenos Barclay Village event room. There'll be some heavy appetizers, some beverages, and of course, just a great time learning more about Social Security. Had an interesting person reach out to me yesterday. It was somebody who works at the Social Security Administration office here in Bellingham. They reached out asking me about what I could provide for people who walk into their office. Now, they're not even sure they can give referrals. However, they constantly have to tell people they cannot give them financial advice. Social Security Administration personnel are not financial advisors. If you want that kind of advice, you need to talk to somebody who's not only super familiar with Social Security, but also with a financial advisor. So I'd like to invite you to attend the workshop coming up on March the 3rd or March the 12th, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m., Jalapenos Event Room in Berkeley Village. You can register at www.socialsecurity-answers.com. www.socialsecurity-answers.com. I look forward to seeing you. We'll talk to you next week.